it's time for us to start off with a discussion segment on this morning on ITV. It's all about combating banditry, the Zamfara story, the impact of banditry or bandits on socio-economic and political development. For an ultimatum to be given by the presidency asking foreigners to leave the mining sites within 48 hours. And of course, we saw raids by the military, talking about the Air Force and other sister security outfits that came out in mass, showing strength and might, dislodging the bandits. People are now asking, at first it was Boko Haram, now we have headsmen, now bandits. Which one are we really talking about? Mind you, Zamfara State is rich in minerals, talking about gold, zinc, and most of the mines are operated by artisans. Yes, private individuals just go get an enclave. This is my mine, stay clear. And many is not being remitted to the government, and there is collaboration between the miners, so to speak, and the bandits. The northern part of the country, from reports on the page of the newspaper, BIPs, even military men, top officials no longer travel by road as such. They now focus more on the rails, talking about trains. So what is really happening? Is there any form of evolution from Boko Haram, headsmen, now to bandits? And with this ultimatum given to foreigners to leave the mining site, is that a good signal? Will it really bring to an end the abysmal, wanton destruction of lives and property by this said group of persons? And what do you think? The citizens of Zamfara State, Nigerians at large, the military personnel, what should they really do to combat this? We'll take a look at all this with my analysts that are here with me in the studio. Starting from my extreme left, you get to hear put food on the table of the people. Everything will just be okay. Jimmy, welcome. Obaraye Osaho. Mr. Obaraye, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Wilson. Good morning.
Right.
Good morning, viewers.
Sitting very close to him is an activist. Yes, when you get to hear Edigi, he is a man. Anyway, Edigi, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Wilson. Viewers at home, good morning as well.
And of course, very close to Edigi is a labor devotee. And of course, also, when you talk about the echelon and the labor force, NUT, you just name it. I don't want to go into a position right now. He's a well-known face with so many things for the people. He has the people at heart. When you talk about the civil service, you talk about labor, talk about NLC, you just name it. His heart is beating towards that mark just to make it better. Jamie, welcome, Morning Mike Modesty to our labor devotee. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Wilson. Viewers, good morning to all of you.
And Collins Osagai, one-time SSA to Edo State Governor on community matters, and he is a political analyst, politician, and entrepreneur. Collins, welcome to the show.
We say thank you very much. Viewers at home, good morning.
Here we are, Zamfara story, and many persons have been talking about it both internationally. It took the protests led by a journalist to Abuja to say, look, Mr. President, enough is enough. People have been killed, kidnapped, displaced. Do something about it. Immediately after that protest, so to speak, there was a swift response by the federal government via the Air Force, the military, the JTF, you just name it, they swung into action. And here we are talking about it. Collins, in Zamfara State, right now it's like it's boiling. How do you feel about this?
Every true Nigerian should feel sympathetic to the citizenry over there, and even to the nation as it were. You know, Zamfara is a daughter from Sokoto, and Sokoto today still live, they are living in peace. We are praying that it doesn't extend, you know, rapidly. But just to say that with the action of the government, you know, as it concerns Zamfara, asking the foreigners, you know, to exit waiting for the 8 hours, it got to show that there's a level of inefficiency a nation not well being sovereign as it well, and for you to just ask your foreigners to leave. Okay, leave to where? You know, leave to where? You know, that's got to show that what we need to do sometimes we do not do. Now, within 2-3 days, a journalist came up with a communique, and the next thing is to also rush and begin to. All this why Zamfara have had this crisis of killing. It didn't just start today. Now, we would have expected by now the federal government would have set up a finding committee. Maybe they have done just to share money before an election, but I mean the genuine finding committee who would then help come with a sound report on what would have been done, you know, in Zamfara, you know, to help reduce, first it was said to be community killing, community crisis, before it started advancing. Later it was said to be political, you know, because some were not allowed to contest. Based on that, they are reacting, and you know, killing started and all that. But all to say that that is why the people have entrusted people into governance to help them solve whatever problems that comes their way. And the problem all from security to other basic welfare, you know, and security ought to take the lead. But just to say that the government should not go about this commando style in doing everything. You know, sometimes there should be brain work, there should be strategic thinkers to help them think on how we can solve imminent and immediate problems.
All right, now Collins talked about fact-finding committee to really go out there to really look at the situation that gave rise to what we're seeing in Zamfara State. He's also talked about commando-like approach. Is that what the military is using right now, given that ultimatum 48 hours to evacuate? Money Mike.
Thank you so much for having me here. I think the story of Zamfara is not only peculiar to Zamfara, so we shall be extraining, or I shall be extraining from the perspective of the entire Northwest. You are aware that the entire Northeast has been a turbulent place for almost a decade. The North Central, not too long ago, had its own bite of the cake, and the Northwest has been also engulfed. So to speak, virtually the entire northern states of this country is seriously in crisis situation security-wise. Specifically, we have to x-ray the Zamfara side of it, vis-a-vis the Kebbi, Katsina, Aziz, and all of them. You will recall that the governor of Zamfara state at the time was asking for a state of emergency if there was need for it then, prior to the election period and all that. The issue of Zamfara did not just start today. Historically, we may need to do a background survey of what really happened. That is even constituting general insecurity in our country as far as the northern part of the country is concerned. Though insecurity is not restricted, but this is the area where it is heavily noticed today. The war in Libya has not helped any situation. The war we had in Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast and others never had any good implications for us. The arms and ammunition that were in private hands, in the hands of children, boys and all others, when the wars came to end, in those countries, those arms were never retrieved. The functionality of ISIS in the Central African Republic and West Africa right now is yet another bigger problem. And Libya is also snowballing again into more crisis right now. And you know the desert is so very open. Desertification, desert encroachment, mobility, porous border system, which we have, are contributing factors. But let me also tell you that the entire crisis we are suffering in Zamfara today cannot be pinpointedly ascribed to foreigners. How are we able to even know the foreigners? How are we able to know them? When somebody can move in from Niger Republic, from all other neighboring countries, you see them, they look like us, our brothers and sisters who are indigenous of our northern part of this country. They mix freely, even many of them are in the southern part of this country. So how are you really going to be able to identify who is foreigner or not? Then the resources that are available in Zamfara, which these people are mining, the so-called identified foreigner, which they are mining, who licensed them to mine them? If it's not that they were mining them illegally, and I'm not too sure that these people were mining illegally. And if they have been mining illegally, why has government been so docile in taking the necessary action? So you see, telling people to move within 48 hours is a strong and wrong foreign affairs signals. I am not saying that government may not have done its homework, because the issue didn't just start today. But let it also be observed an X-ray to the effect that that may have been one of the reasons necessitating the crisis, which may have been seen through intelligence gathering. If they had gathered in positive intelligence and they see that as one of the issues, and they feel it's likely to help, I would not be against it. But diplomacy, in the diplomatic cycle, there are ways you handle such situations. But above all, what is important to me is the level of poverty, the level of penury, the level of suffering of our people in the northern part of this country, especially the northern extreme, have we really improved?
Good question.
On all this?
Now, you just hold on. I'll come back to you on that. You are an activist and you're very vibrant in Edo State, talking about Osaze Edigi. Now, they talked about a porous border, talked about guns not being mopped up after war, talked about extreme poverty, talked about licensing of all these foreigners, so to speak. Who licensed them? And that is a big question. He gave a kind of an evolution of the problem. From where you stand and taking a look at all these facts being gathered, do you think that telling foreigners to leave within 48 hours is a right step to take in this situation?
Well, I've always had problems with our governments, with they address issues. Most times they take on issues with the fire brigade approach, which colleagues have mentioned earlier. Our government don't usually look at remote causes of problems before they start taking action. They just wake up and take steps without looking at what are the underlying issues to be addressed. For instance, when there's fuel scarcity in Nigeria, instead of government making available enough fuel for people to have access to, you see them going after people who sell black markets. You and I know that when fuel is made available, the black marketers fizzle out naturally.
Yeah.
Now you see, nobody will see our government fighting street traders every day. They have refused to see them to look at the reasons behind the actions of citizens. I'm not sure that these manners will actually licensed, because if they are licensed, there will be need for them to fight it themselves. We are very quite aware that even in Edo State, we have some natural resources in Edo State, in the upper, in the Edo northern parts of the state, where we have different people who are mining all kinds of natural resources. Do you see them fighting? Now, why is it that Zamfara State is different? That goes to show how our government and the ministry agencies have taken the northern part and the southern part differently. Even when it comes to admission and all manner of things that we are supposed to do it based on merit. But these days, you see that our government agency overlooks some certain parts against some other parts. Now, in all, what the point I'm trying to make is this: the problem in Zamfara State shows that our government are not really ready to sort out these problems. They are not ready to sit down, look at these issues critically. If those miners were actually licensed, how did guns get into the system? What are the things causing agitations, differences, acrimony among the people? They need to do a deliberate study of the problem in Zamfara State. Only people to live 24 hours will not solve the problems. That is not the direction. If you ask them what are the issues now, why would you tell them to leave? If they were licensed, why are you asking them to leave? Have their license expired? Who are the miners? How did they get access to these gold mines that they now have? Each of them now wake up one day and begin to take possession of these things. We know there's a federal commission in charge of licensing of mines in Nigeria. We know that. What is happening in Zamfara State is beyond what all of us are saying. There's a compromise somewhere.
Yeah, there's a compromise somewhere.
There's a compromise somewhere. Because if not, if other states that have similar mineral resources are not fighting themselves, why is it not happening in Zamfara State?
Okay. Why is it not happening in Zamfara State? He talked about compromise somewhere, but where we don't know, but it's there somewhere. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Brother. I think I'm so happy with the deliberation going on now, because we must not shy away from the truth. If I tell you again that it's because we have a state, a big government system, you say we track the statement. But naturally, if we don't have government now as we speak presently, how come somebody is mining in your place and you pretend not to know until somebody shouts to say somebody is mining here? Can I come to ITV without an invitation? Can I come start working here without somebody not saying come and work here? Then the next you now say, oh, but yes, in ITV will go. No. You have to give me an invitation to come. Before the miners came in, there is already a collaboration between that said person, the security agencies, the government of the day, and the EDGs around. Mining is not buying. Mining takes time.
Sure.
Mining is not an individual thing. It's a collective effort. I've told you that if there is a pipe of petrol at this back of this place, and somebody decide to come and bust that pipe, I must tell Wilson, inform your security people, inform the DJs around there, because trailer will come and take it away. So for you to see a trailer coming to ITV, a big trailer to come, you have to say, what is this trailer doing here? You don't just mind and say, I put it in my car boot and go. No, it takes noise. Some people take blasting.
Sure.
So how come this thing will just be happening and people is telling you live there for 48 hours if nothing is happening? The government of the day is aware. The security agencies there, all of them, all are aware. But they will pretend not to know, because this is now an order from above. I get it now. What has happened in Zamfara that we must factor to ourselves is a loophole, a lacuna somewhere that has snowballed to what we have for the very just now. Somebody did not pay well, or somebody has been changed. Either the commissioner has been changed, or the government of the day has changed in that circle, pretending that I don't even know you. So come government, come, they are disturbing me here. But if it was carried along, you won't hear it. People are doing bunkery every day here, but they will tell you they don't know. It's the one that didn't pay well that you see. It's the people that did not settle the customs well, they destroyed their turkey and use clothes.
But you don't have
This is where you come from. Let's not pretend as if we don't know. This is true now. It's the people that did not settle well. Don't you travel to Lagos? Don't you see it? When someone will come, there was something I put in my status, and you see, when a policeman shakes you like this, already you know what is happening. But the one that pretend not to know is the one police will say, show me your license, show me your paper. This one has expired. But by the time you know, for you to beat them, you know it. So we must not pretend. We already have a failed system. That is what we are pretending this thing is going on well. Nothing is going on well here. We must be out the truth. For years I know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. What is the truth? The truth is that nothing is working. Nothing has worked. And we pray something should work. And if we are so not joking with it, nothing will also work. The future is bleak. Because how can you now start shouting to say leave the mining site? If you have no faith, is this somebody that will help you mine? So Nigeria has got somewhere, and we are seriously facing on here, as if nothing is happening there. If not the woman that shouted now, that's to tell you this. The cabals already, they are aware, they are involved, they are the one. A poor man don't mind.
Never.
A poor man cannot go and break the pipe.
Never.
It's impossible. It's the job of the billionaires. If you don't join the racketeer you don't join it as a miner. No, you have to have that big money to settle, because the business is big. People still do it. You are talking about this one. Are you not aware that constantly every day trucks leave site in Iwa of diesel, of petrol? These are what is happening on daily basis. And I've told you, I said, so their men not guard these people from site to site. They'll tell you don't try it. As a one-time member of Pipeline Protection Committee, I'm talking with facts. You cannot bust that racketeer. Impossible. So that is why I see that this government of today has decided to say that committee is useless. Because who are you going to bust when the person that is coming has high-level network, both in and outside government? You cannot come and bust. You that is doing it, you will be arrested. or you'll be shot at the scene. So all these people that are doing it bandit, they just want to call them bad names to say they are from neighboring country. How can somebody from Oluku come and steal me at Etete? The person cannot know where to go now. We should be formed out to ourselves now.
Right.
Are you getting it now?
Yeah.
If I decide to steal here, where will I know the vote to run to? So it's the indigenous, the people around there that are doing it.
Okay.
What has happened? Maybe change of government.
Okay.
Change the batting.
I'll come back to you, Obarari, but whatever they say here is entirely their opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV radio. We are doing our best possible to make sure that they follow the rules governing the earthwaves. Now, for what is said, there's a collaboration somewhere. Now, some of these persons are aware of the fact that minors are there. Maybe there were distortions or there were changes made, hence the hula baloo, hence the kidnapping, hence the killing we are seeing there. Would you want to say that is a fight amongst the elephants that is giving rise to this trouble in Zamfara State, Collins?
I will 101% concur with Usahon on what he has said, because the truth is that we have been in this country for quite some time, and we have seen the way things have been running. Though that have led to why many of us as a young comrades have been trying to see how there could be a renaissance. But when the team that is against are far more than those who want a reasonable change, it's usually very hectic. So you will understand, if you've also been in government or you're serving in government, you want to play a role of simplicity and purification. It takes God for you to even come out alive. You know, just as he have said, most of these things are very obvious that there are a lot of collaborations with those in high places. Zamfara did not just come up today. Zamfara have been run by government. They have state government, they have local government. They also have federal might that oversees most of the things that are happening there. So even at that level, they also have indigenous who indeed reside in all of these areas, who either have been benefactors of foreigners' social responsibility, how you call it, whether you come in a genuine way or not. There will be a time, you know, indigenous will come and tell you, come and, you know, play the role of being a company around us, social responsibility, you know, come and meet up. But just to say that all boils down to the fact that we have a field system. When you have institutions that are not running, that collaborate together when it comes to ill issues, and there will not be way out. Because one, it is not, now for example, the police major responsibilities are to also help in investigating things like this. Anything that is criminal in nature are usually the job of the police. Owing to the fact that EFCC and ICPC came as a sole body, they are not well known in the constitution. Those bodies are committee. The real body that investigate things that are imbibed both in the criminal law and in the main constitution are even the police. You know, these are all their jobs. Now we also have other, you know, sisters that have come up from there, like the civil defense and all that, whom also their major responsibility was also to check some of these things. And you cannot tell me civil defense does not know, police does not know, army does, at least among the three, one should know, or even the DSSS, whose major help for the country is to gather intelligence on where things are wronging, to in furtherance, you know, delegate it to those who may responsibility to act. But just to say that, we also now have heads of government who have not also given a body language, you know, that could help even the citizenry who would have also passed some information. Because there is one thing to also know and pass information. There is another thing for you to be safe after giving information. Because a lot of people have given information to those in authority who are even the perpetrator of these acts. And at the end of the day, you are even giving information to the person that is a billionaire, that is in government, that is castrating that thing illegally. He will even kill you before the information, before you send information to another person. You know, and these are problems, even those citizens, you know, I'm just trying to a little bit exonerate some of these citizens at this level. Because many have given information, they have not lived to witness the information they gave. You give information today, in 3-4 days time, that enclave is being attacked, and everybody there, you know, is closed. The chapters are closed. But just to say, we are not only praying, because it's good to pray and walk. We are saying that our citizens shouldn't relent. If those we have elected are failing the way they are failing, maybe we should do more, just like that woman cried out, and it has become a story for everybody to hear. You know, we have seen people try to talk to the president, you know, for some time. They said the president wasn't hearing. They decided to leak the white paper, the memo, so that Nigerians will hear what they have said at a particular time. I want to thank her for leaking a certain memo, you know, either through, anyhow she just did it. And maybe we should add more effort, you know, to make sure the system begin to work.
All right, thank you so much, Collins. Money Mike, a labor devotee that has the heart of the people. And they talked about collaboration. Is there a collaboration or a situation of collaboration gone sour? That is the reason why we're saying this in Zamfara state.
I will not emphatically say or adduce some of these things to collaboration because I don't have the facts. But it can be assumed that some elements of compromises here and there will exist in the system. To me, I think a great institutional failure is a major problem here. When you say the failure of institutions, I'm talking about our security architecture. And the security architecture we have in this country failing will not only be ascribed to the institutions, but to those who have been elected to cater for the security needs of our people and also make those security institutions function very well. In as much as I have that as an opinion, I also wish to say that those who man these security institutions, are they really patriotic enough to spend a kobo that is meant for that security agency for that particular purpose? Because we have had accusations and counter-accusations. Even with the Boko Haram insurgency, the top military rankings and others have been allegedly accused of not spending resources meant for the acquisition of sophisticated arms and ammunition, or not taking good care of the welfare of those soldiers at the war front. Be that as it may, I am of the opinion that the situation we have in Zamfara, vis-a-vis the entire northwest, northeast, north central, cannot be far away from the fact that most people will see something and they will refuse to say something in collaboration with what my brother has said. Because nobody wants his head to be chopped off. Because most of the times, like Obaraye said, those who are illegally busting our pipes and others are highly placed individuals. Those security agencies who are placed in our high seas to be able to avoid piracy and oil theft, who busy themselves even making billions and allowing our oil to be stolen, are part of the security failure we are talking about. In virtually most, if you look at the entire segments, you discover that in one way or the other, compromises have existed. But let us be pointedly say, the Zamfara situation as I see it to be, if we are not careful, today, the entire north is already engulfed. We should be careful. Sure. We don't know what we are playing with. We are toiling with a disaster that is facing us. In the south, we think we are secured. We are not secured. Move from Abuja to Kaduna or through the length and breadth of that stretch, every day, every minute, for the past 2-3 years, is kidnapping galore. What have we done about it? Just in Zamfara, talking about little children are even being kidnapped right now. So the security failure is massive. The earlier those who are in authorities who are supposed to provide sophisticated equipment, modern 21st century compliant equipment to our men, those who are supposed to raise the morale of our men financially and otherwise, they are doing it or they refuse to do it, the more trouble we will see. Politicians rarely, to an extent, are also involved in some of these things because political patronage, if you were in group A today and tomorrow you needed to continue and you are not able to be favored, that animal a man stirs itself up. You are not able to control the adrenaline that will tell you objectively, this is my country. Objectively, this is my state. Objectively, anybody that is killed here is either my brother, my sister, or my relation. Objectively, God has not given me any opportunity to take the life of anybody. You see, we are so animalistic that if we don't get it like this, we want to destroy it like this. That's from the political angle. But whether that is what is prevailing in Zamfara, I cannot say directly.
All right. You talk about political angle. If it's what is prevailing in Zamfara, I cannot really say it. But would you want to dive into that line, Edigin?
You see, politics controls every other sphere of our living as it's here today, whether we like it or not. You see, politics, the type of politics we play in Nigeria today is so self-centered, egoistic, and destructive. So to say the least. We have seen situations where people can do all manner of things just to claim onto political power. You see, what we are talking about today, we have not even considered how much we have lost in when it comes to the revenue of the country. Because we know that government or the federal government makes money from such business. It is not meant for individuals to just wake up and start mining gold or natural resources anywhere. You must get license. Now, because some of these persons who are involved in that business are politicians, which I can authoritatively tell you, even in the oil and gas sector, they are there too. This bunkering we are talking about today, we are crying over oil theft. The oil theft we are talking about is not those ones that bust pipelines or use their cars to take diesel somewhere. Our oil is being taken from this country with ships every day, and as Comrade Mike said, these things are being escorted by even our own security forces who are supposed to prevent such things. Now, it's a strong problem, a huge problem for us, that, as you have said, until we come back and sit up, because what we are looking at, this country is going down by the day. We don't know how much damage we have done for ourselves, because most times we politicize everything that comes our way. We say whether it's PDP or APC, but we must learn to be patriotic. We must learn to love this country. We must learn to protect and preserve this country, because 20 years back, this country was not as bad as it is today. The issues of kidnapping is before us, and it has ceased to stop. The issue of we are talking about banditry. Some of these issues were not with us 20, 30 years back, but day in, day out, we are being confronted with different security challenges, and our security agencies are also fall short of their responsibilities. Most of them are more concerned about what they will gain in anything. You go to a police station to lay a complaint, the next thing they ask you bring 5,000 before they can even listen to you.
Now the thing is that you cannot ascertain that.
I'm human rights activist.
Yeah.
I can say that with facts.
But since they're not here to defend themselves, let's just share it.
I can bring people who have suffered that into the studio if you want them.
And will you bring the police also to say they collected 5,000 from them? If you can do that, no problem. But since they're not here to defend themselves, let's just leave it.
There are instances where transfers have been made to police officers in this state. We have the facts. So I'm not just talking
until you bring the police officers involved and the people involved, let's just shove it. Thank you.
But the point to be made is this: listen, our country is most dying by the day. We must wake up. Our government, because we are in a situation where we are finding charlatans in the heads of affairs. People who don't have business with leadership. People don't even know what they are there for. People who are not even qualified to even lead, to even be or do of the streets. They have become governors, they have become press members, they have become local government chairmen. That is where we are today. People who do a lot of things to even hide themselves in politics. Some people are even in politics to hide their shedding. There are persons who are into oil bunkering. There are persons who are into this money we are talking about. They are in politics today. They are local government chairmen. They are governors. Because they are at that level, it becomes difficult for these things to be abated. That's not the truth.
All right.
And for us to move forward, we must devote ourselves from dirty politics. We must be patriotic. We must love this country, which we must continue to preach to everybody.
Okay.
That's the way we can move forward as a country.
Well, people like saying that if the government of the day should come up and take over these mines, the trouble in Zamfara will come to an abrupt end. Obara, do you agree to this suggestion?
Which government of the day? The government I started with that has failed. So how can it fail somebody that they are back someone else?
No, I get it. Well, according to you, they might have failed, but to some people, they are making serious impact positively.
Okay, you know, let me tell you, my brother Wilson, the reason why you don't really feel the impact in this government is that you are in a cool environment. This place is so cool and serene that you just think you are overseas. So if you take your time one day to just come sit down in Sapomba Road, Welfare Junction, and you sit down with him, you hear boy, somebody falling, and people running, maybe you come back with the scenario that, wow, people leaving this place, they really tried. My brother, Owe Mato, outside not good. We must tell ourselves the truth. So telling me the government should take charge. Take charge of what? Is the government not in charge of oil? A government that gave an individual license to say Air Force take charge of sea, security in sea. What is the work of the Air Force? What is the work of the Navy? What is the work of DSS? What is the work of police? Individual, we say, Marshal, Air Force take charge of security of the waterways. Don't you know that is a $1 billion contract? These are facts. I don't come here to tell you what I don't know. Is it that same government you are saying to take charge? No, now. So the truth must be told. The truth is that there is nobody that can successfully be a miner illegally or legally that is not in government. It's impossible. You must be in government to get the license. They cannot give it to Mike Modesty. No. They cannot give it to Sankoba. No. They know if they give it to you, you become a blown billionaire the next day, and they are off. So they give it to the old man that they know if you tell them to bring a name, they will bring his girlfriend's name, baby mama's name, his child's name for continuity. They will not give it to a progressive. I get it down. And even some progressive are not also even involved or want to be involved in things like that, because to me these are also these people are not arrested, but they arrest those little people that do Yahoo and this one. These are the people that are supposed to be arrested, because what they are doing is illegal. They are mining our future. The future of this generation is being mined. The future of my son Osayeni is being mined. So we must be factor to ourselves. The truth is that this government, I pray they will wake up. I pray. That is my prayer every day for this government, is that they should wake up. Because the reason everywhere, look at the light system. My brother, we are speaking here now. 80% of Edo State people are not watching this program. 80%. I didn't say 40, I didn't say 60. 80. Those that are watching are either watching from the bank or banking hall, or eateries where plants are going on 247. Not individual homes where they set TV hours light, even if you get it. So where is this government going to tell you we've done this, we've done that? Tell me where this government can actually score themselves very high. In the same society as we speak today, I was driving down now. God be the glory that my car was able to pass the new river that is front here, SRT River. These are not, is it the government that will drive past there with their 2018, 2019 Lexus or Toyota Prado? They don't feel it, they don't know it. They move with chopper, they move with jets, so they don't even feel your pain. They don't want to take charge of what? My brother, can Osman Kobaye start mining here without the notification or the no of the Ovia local government chairman? When a trailer fell at UBTH that catch fire, you heard the DSS at Ego telling you that as early as 6 a.m. when that thing happened, he put a call across to the local government chairman that, madam, there is something here, and the woman has to quickly come. So they know everything going on. If you decide to start doing something today illegally at ITV, somebody will know. So we must be factor to ourselves. We have the police is aware. If you go there, Eddie has given you facts. I told you I was arrested now. Election day. Me, not my brother, me. If the police was already negotiating bail for the people that arrested with me, 70,000. This one I'm not telling you about Chukuma. I'm telling you about Sankoba myself. Negotiating bail for the boy, or you go to court on Monday. The boy was already calling the pregnant wife at home to bring money before the intervention of like minds that came to say no. Okobaye cannot do this. Release him on bail for me. I'm telling you, if it was not Okobaye, that guy would have gone away with 70,000. Now nobody will know. Is it not the same government that we are? You will tell the police will tell you, everybody is complaining because the government is not good. We are not in the good system. The teachers are complaining.
Is it the government or the individuals?
No, my brother. Individuals make up government.
So like
Government
everyone
is
is involved.
Government is not from Jamaica. Is it not me, you, that vote the government? So if government is not good, either the blame thing comes back again, or it's to back. Are we not the ones suffering it? When I come here shout, you don't collect money on election day, don't collect money on election day, they look at you as a talkative. Don't know that this is the voice of Judas Iscariot telling you clearly, you know somebody is coming.
All right, all right.
You know they are suffering, telling you, even with the phone now, don't you know they're suffering everywhere?
Okay, now
With the present
Even with the rain, it's still sunny.
all right, let's come back to combating banditry. Zamfara state situation, like what Money Mike talked about, is that the north is like it's engulfed in Borno State. In if you talk about the expressway leaking, Kaduna and the like, so it's like kidnapping, you know, like what he said. In Zamfara also, it's like a turbulence everywhere. Is the northern part of this country so tough for the government to handle? At first, it was militants in the south. The government was able to do something. Why is the northern part different? Why is it so difficult?
Witty, you know, one thing you must understand, or Nigerians must understand, that some region in this country has been saying really not to be more part of this country. Not that what we are experiencing in the north today are not happening in the south nor in the east. It's happening because most of our governors in these very regions want to play or act to be living in a peaceful or operating a peaceful government, and don't want people to hear, don't want people to see. There are a lot of injustice, there are a lot of killings that are also happening in these regions. It's just that they are not speaking. They cover it. Once it happens, they make sure they do everything. The press shouldn't blow it out. This one, the people shouldn't hear. Nigeria is engulfed. Nigeria is on stage. Nigeria has been captured, you know, by those who believe that Nigerians must not survive. Nigeria has been held hostage by some cabals, being managed by very few elements, just as the wife of the president indeed appealed to Nigerians some time ago, that some few elements have taken charge. That's just the truth. In Edo State, for example, you will say there have been a lot of killings that have happened in the recent time, which was attributed to court killings. If it was happening in some part of Nigeria, you will see all the national dailies, you will see them calling federal government attention, you see a lot of issues happening, you see them, their governors take it like, you know, half of their states have been murdered. But in some parts here, you see mutility, you see nobody talking. You see, they just say, nah, then they kill themselves. Who told you it's them killing themselves? Souls are going. If you want to do statistics of people who died in the recent, it's enormous in this part of the country, in this state particular. But nobody has talked about it. And it's as if nothing happened. But parents are crying. Families are mourning. You get what I mean? So, in all of this, it's all to you know, people using money to cover up things sometimes when they're happening. No part of this country is safe. Because why? We have a federal government who indeed cannot protect us, cannot assure us of security.
You wouldn't say no part of this country is safe, because others, apart from this report we are getting, they are really enjoying safety due to the intervention of security agents. So you just can't answer because you're here in Benin. You don't know what is happening in part of the country.
Go to welfare. Go to welfare. Go to welfare.
Hold on now.
I am coming.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we do not want to really digress into Nigerian issues, because if we do, we as young patriotic Nigerians and that are still appealing and following the footsteps of our leader Mike Money and others, you know, it will look as if when we say more, our offspring will get so discouraged and not want to be patriotic. Otherwise, if we want to do the summary analysis, you will agree with me. Is it Kaduna that is safe? Is it Rivers that you saw killings everywhere? You call it political killing. Is it in Plateau State? Is it in Kanu? So which part? Is it in Delta? Which part is it in a door that they are called, they are acclaimed court killings? Killings are killings, anyhow you call it. The citizen entrust in you to secure them. They don't know what form of killing that is going to come. So, which part, is it even Abuja, Federal Capital Territory? Is it in Katsina where the president come from?
All right.
Come on.
All right,
6-7 months. No, I am no. Just to
hold on.
Do a reframe of this.
Collins, hold on now. Watch your emotion.
Oh, good.
These who are coming, watch your emotions.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So you can anchor this. I'll go to Money Mike.
Just to do a reframe of this. We are hoping and praying that where things are not working, those we have assigned to take responsibility, why the citizens speaks, let them allow them speak and let them join them to speak so we can have better attentions. That is what you are getting from the north. Good. Maybe it's happening at a level it ought not to happen there. In a donut, for example, at the time we have Boa Company and Dangote and community fight about cement wala. It was also mining. There were killings too during that period.
All right,
you understand? So if only in Zamfara now you are hearing that it's very loud. When it was happening here, we try to oppress it, we try to use force, we try to use money, we try to use everything to swallow it.
Okay.
But in Zamfara, you heard them, you heard the people speak out, and that is why you are hearing.
All right, Collins, thank you. I'll come back to you. Whatever they say here is totally their own opinion. It has nothing to do with ITV Radio. We're doing our best possible to make sure they follow the rules and regulations governing the airwaves. Money Mike, Collins been lamenting, Abara has been lamenting. I think it was just like lamentations. I wonder why that is. The same question also that I threw at Collins, the same question I want to present to you. Why is the northern part so difficult to handle?
Well, Wilson, thank you for that question. I don't want to say the northern part is very difficult to handle. Because I earlier alluded to the fact that the level of abject poverty, anyway, the borderless borders that we have, the wars we had in Liberia and many other parts of Africa, the ongoing ravaging war in Libya, the ISIS in West Africa, desertification, the climate change that is making people to migrate from one place to the other, the aftermath of the war in Mali, even in Cameroon right now, Southern Cameroon is in flames. So when you aggregate all of this, you discover that most of those who are migrating from all these areas I'm talking about, they are all passing through our borders into our country without being checked. Let us not also forget, we have a flourishing local arm manufacturing industry that is informal. Flourishing local arm manufacturing industries that are informal. Why can't we decide to say, okay, assemble all these artisans who are producing these local arms, assemble them into a formal industry to be producing refined arms and ammunition for Nigeria to also be exporting to other countries. We have a situation where a chief security officer of the state is the governor, but he does not have any authority over the commissioner of police. He does not have any power to instruct on anything security as to the security heads. We have a country where all powers are concentrated at the central government, the federal government. The resources we are talking about in Zamfara today, that they are alleged to be constituting the trouble. Are they not supposed to be state-owned resources if we are operating a real federal system?
Sure.
And if they were to be state-owned resources, don't you think reputable organizations and companies would have been in charge of these mining sites and others?
Yeah.
Paying what they're supposed to pay to government, while the government pays royalty to the central government? Constitutional reform, constitutional conferences have been held in this country. Beautiful documents have come out of it. Have we taken the pay to say, let's look at this document so that we can start rethinking our federation towards the 21st century compliant type? Our leaders that we are complaining about, all of us are complaining about the politicians. Where are they from? Are they not from our homes?
Of course.
Are they not our brothers and our sisters, uncles, husbands and wives? Are they from the moon? A child who has learned to steal from the mother's pot today, if not checked, by tomorrow, has access to cutlass and is hungry. He can machete the opposite person who he knows has food when he wants to forcefully gain entrance into the house. Are we saying our family system have not failed? Our religious system has it not failed? Our traditional institutions, are we saying they have not failed? Are we still a society that is sane enough to say it the way it is and ensure that the ethics and ethos that were betrothed to us by our great-great-grandfathers, as in you see something on the ground, pick it, look for the owner, or go and hand it over to the community head until the owner comes for it? Are we going back to those days? Now all we preach is that everybody must ride a limousine. Let's ride a limousine, or the last edition of Lexus. What examples are we showing? We have degenerated to the extent that female pants and undies are now being stolen. Even male boxers, I'm told, they are beginning to be sold for 250,000. To what extent has education been improved on in another part of this country? How many online Jewish schools have been built since 2015 to date? We have had a school feeding program, free feeding program. Are these things working in our northern parts? So you say, we just pretend. We are pretenders. We are a nation that pretend a lot. So if you look at it holistically, all of us are involved in one way or the other. The man who has no means of livelihood has 5 wives, producing 30 children, 40 children. Every day impregnates the women. To what extent is he helping the society? And when the child is 3-4 years old, you know hunger. Hunger is a propeller. It's the highest propelling force to stealing. Have you taken your debate to be in the northern part of the extreme part of this country? You go to Maiduguri, you go to all these Sokoto and others. I am telling you, we see, as you are in a restaurant, you are eating. You have well over 20, 30, 40 children gathered. What are they waiting for? They want to see whether there will be remnant from you, or even if the soup will remain. Immediately you are finishing, even when it is the bone, you see they gather it. You see they use the tongue to lick it. And these children I'm talking about, they grow to be antagonists to society. Those who join Boko Haram, do you think they just join Boko Haram just from their sane minds? So what are we talking about? Let me now wrap it up by telling you that even in all of this, insecurity is a global phenomenon. It's a global threat. You hear in America, somebody picks a gun, a small child goes to school and starts killing other children in the class. Have you not heard of that? New Zealand recently. Did you not hear of Christchurch? So the problem of insecurity is everywhere. But our difficulty is we are not preemptive and we do not even know how to be preventive. But if you look at it, if our policemen go outside this country, you hear a lot of accolades. Nigerian police officers are powerful. Nigerian military men are powerful. They are respected under the United Nations. But why is it that at home, they are not? There are many things we are not saying. The average Nigerian policeman is ready to work. If he's motivated, that is the truth. The average military officer or sergeant in the military is ready to work. If he's provided with the right equipment, his welfare is taken adequate care of. Billions are being appropriated. And at the end of the day, you find out what percentage of such billions have been released. And if the entire 100% is not released for defense, the one that has been released, what has been expended for? We have no check-up mechanisms. A lot of things are wrong. So insecurity is a global trend. For us in Nigeria, insecurity is present in all parts of this country. But the magnitude varies from state to state. You are talking of courtesan. The arms they are using, are they not being manufactured in this country? Most of them are manufactured in this country. Most of them are manufactured in this country. There are creative children who can even produce pistol. You see this iron they use in doing chairs. They will just cut it. Just put something. What does a cartridge need? A cartridge needs a trigger. Something that can hit it, an iron. Once a child is able to do that, and he has access to cartridge, it's finished. Most of the bad boys that you see the police parade, how many of them really have AK-47? Assemble all these manufacturers into a booming industry. Let us be making money from these manufacturers and export these products to countries that want them. But let me also tell you, our local traditional institutions, to what extent are governments involving them in the security architecture? If you are talking of security vote for a state government, I will advocate seriously that even the indigenous should have access to security vote. The Odion warriors should have access to security votes. The switch heads and others, no matter how small, these people who are committing troubles here and there, they are our brothers, our sisters, our children. They live with us. So when you talk of community policing, this is what becomes very, very germane. Let government involve everybody. Our religious organizations must learn to preach the Christ-like religion. The Islamic people must learn to preach it the way Prophet Muhammad preached it. Our traditional institutions should be able to also do their bits. In conclusion, we have all failed. We have sinned and fallen short of God's glory.
We have all failed. That is his conclusion. Edigi, take it up from there. We have all failed. Not only the government. After all, we are the government,
Yes,
right?
we are government.
So we are the government. So how can we now rectify this failure? Taking an example of what is happening in Zamfara State.
I think I will not totally agree that we have all failed. It's just that the percentage of people who are failed are not bad, those ones who are trying to make things happen.
Yes.
Even in the political space, there are persons who actually want things to work. But it's very, very unfortunate that the number of persons that are just for themselves are much. So most times you see that those people that are trying to make this happen, you barely see the effects. Not that we are not free. Even him as a communist, as a labor activist, on his own part, he's trying. But you see, the system is so porous that even no matter what you are trying to do, it becomes difficult once it is being done by few.
Who makes up the system? Is it not us?
So, it's what I said, like in some other clients, you see that they are citizens. Majority of the citizens are patriotic. They want to die for the country.
That's why it's working.
That's why things are working. Not here that people just do traffic light with impunity. Your person gets arrested for crime because you know the DPO, you pick up your phone and call the DPO. In some cases, if you do that, even you are liable. But in Nigeria, a lot of things are happening. Even when you want to be different, like what Colin said, even when you want to give out information, to who are you giving out this information to? Even when you want to be different, it becomes difficult for you to make that mark because a lot of our persons, a lot of the citizens we have today don't want that, they are not interested in that direction we are going to. Like as Okoro said about vote buying, we also as a society we need a campaign against vote buying. But at the end of the day, people still sold their votes, notwithstanding what they will suffer thereafter. Because now that they have sold their votes, they should be expecting mobile courts that will try and take them to Oko. They should be expecting tax increments. They should be expecting all manner of government policies that will be geared towards taking money from them to
retrieve their 4,000.
So a lot of persons, a majority of our people are not towing that direction of making things to work, even among the political space. Even if you become a House of Press member today, or House of Assembly member today, and you want to be different, others will gang up against you. Maybe you are trying to say, look, the government cannot take XYZ and math for this, not to strive. The rest will tell you that, look, keep quiet. We want to eat our turn to eat our own share. How do you now strive in such a midst? It becomes difficult for you to make a mark. And that is the situation we have found ourselves in Nigeria today. We all have not failed. Some of us are trying to make sure that things are done rightly. But the thing is that how much can we do when a lot of the persons just want what they want to get for themselves? It becomes difficult, my brother. I must say the truth. Most times, as a human rights activist, we get frustrated when even when you go to take somebody on pay, you have paid the person, he didn't pay money, he still goes behind you to go and give money to the police. Most times, the police will tell them that if you don't pay, this you want to call a human rights activist, you go to jail. They threaten the the suspect, they will see extract money from the suspect. And this is a whole lot of things that, because some of us are used to that way of life. We want to do things through shortcuts. We don't want to follow due process. I've suffered a lot of disadvantage because I want to follow due process. But I don't mind. Most times I will follow the traffic light. For minutes, you see people driving my left, right. Most times I will look at myself and say I'm a fool. Because I just want to do things the right way. While you are there, you see even government officials, they will beat the traffic lights.
The people that installed it.
Even the enforcer of the law will beat the traffic lights. Now what I want to talk about here, these police people that are asking driver license, expired papers, most of them don't have papers in their vehicles. Most of them don't even have papers in their vehicles. So most even road safety that we are praying to that your vehicle is not roadworthy. If I show you some pictures I have taken of the road safety vehicles, their vehicles is more than not roadworthy. Those ones should have been destroyed. Now the point to be made is that a lot of us in Nigeria are not doing the right things, and that's why the country has not made any significant progress over the years. So we must go back to the drawing board, because the way we are going in this country, let me warn practically, the way we are going in this country, we think all this is all the PDP is striking on one side, APC is striking on one side. None of them is thinking of fixing this country, put it in the right perspective. We are just laughing, we think everything is well. All is not well. The way we are going in this country, if we are not careful, let me not say any word that will discourage the younger ones as calling them.
All right, now the governor said, look, Mr. President, declare a state of emergency. What is happening right now? Should it be formally said that Zamfara state is under the state, so to speak, of emergency, or they should have combating the way they are combating? Air raids, military, JTF, you just go in there and maintain peace.
Mr. Marshal, let me tell you, the reason I like you is that you know, you already have answers to questions you want to bring, but you want to know it from over. I will tell you the way it is, and it will not be painful to you. You just asked me, said the governor, who is the governor? It's chief security officer of the state, telling you this state declare a state of emergency. That he does not want the office again. No. State of emergency is you call a military officer to take charge. So the man is telling you, take. I don't want this thing again. Then you people are saying the place is good. You are saying people live within 48 hours. For the chief security officer of the state to tell you, I want. You was not suggesting, no. I want state of emergency. You will know the thing has gotten to a church. He's thinking already. But in a state society, for him to have shouted I want, he would have resigned. If you walk away, if you just walk away, don't need to call a friend. Just stand up and walk away. In a state society, because now you are shouting, give me state of emergency, nobody's answering you. Will you not want it to take your life? For the man to have shouted tells you what is happening there. We are not there. I'm sure if we were there, we will not be seated comfortably the way we are sitting now. If Godinoga Sobaseki tells you I want state of emergency, I'm not sure anybody in Benin will be sleeping well. Because the governor must have done everything. Call everybody. Call the traditional rulers, call the imams, the Christians, and maybe those ones also told him, we are also tired. For a governor to call out to say, I want state of emergency, is the first person to have done that. That tells you Zamfara is burning in and out. I'm quoting what the governor said now. That is, Zamfara is burning. So if the governor is not telling you, who has not prayed in that place now? That man is telling you he wants a state of emergency, but he still receives security vote monthly. He did not say, I don't want security vote again. No. He did not resign. No. He didn't tell you, I don't want it. But the governor of Zamfara hardly before something will happen to him, because he has DSS that is ready to lay down his life. He has police that is going to, they are ready to lay down their life for the governor to be saved. For the man that already has all that security telling you all is no longer well, take this thing away from me, tells you both the security, the the traditional institutions, the Christian faith, all in Zamfara, has in one way or the other failed. So what is the way forward? Way forward is simple. The governor of a state is the #1 officer of the state. The man has told the president. He didn't tell the president before the protest of these few days ago. He shouted it
before the election.
Long before December or January. He shouted, "I want a state of emergency." Nobody answered. Nobody answered him. So that is no board now to protest. So there might be so many things that is happening in Zamfara that we cannot get here because maybe even in internet, because of the place Zamfara. If this woman has protested in Zamfara, it will get the attention she's getting now. She came to Abuja, she knows every station, even ITVs in Abuja. So immediately the entire world is aware. So there might have been so many of these type of protests in Zamfara that we didn't hear about. There might be so many killings. The killings I'm telling you that happens day in, day out at Upper. People in Zamfara will still aware now.
Okay.
I'm aware because that is the area I relax nearly every evening. I get it now. When I also told you here that the people, their boys at the restaurant before Zenith Bank at Airport Road, over 16, 17 of them that sleep at that moat. They live there. That woman's restaurant, they feed on that, the remnants there. The boys are there. They are not telling you about Saple. The restaurant by the moat before Zenith at Airport Road. So it tells you the solution for the governor to have shouted state of emergency, the president would have listened.
All right, you just
go to president.
Want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. State of emergency, is it plausible? Is it the right time? Must it be adhered to? We'll be right back after this break. Do stay tuned. And we're about commencing our descent on this discourse. Is all about combating banditry and the Zamfara state situation. Well, took a short break and we're going to continue to call it a wrap on this segment. Gentlemen, 1 minute each. Still hanging on that statement made by the governor saying, look, enough is enough. I've had it up to here. Declare a state of emergency. We've had Obare's own point of view on that statement. Collins, 1 minute.
First, I want to congratulate Yari, the governor, for summoning courage to say that, even though we may say it's political statement, but it's on record, he has said that, and it also be on record that the man who had the virtue power to declare a state of emergency in that state brutally refused for interest known, maybe on reasons to parties' advice. But just to say that he would also step up the fact that the lives of the citizens of Zamfara should be more concerned. Any other area he needs to also, play a role, though he does not have much to do anymore because his days are now numbered, because he's outgoing now, and another governor-elect hopefully will come in. And we are now going to be trusting on the new governor that will be coming, either from APC or from PDP, because owing to the court issues that is also on. There are a lot of issues even in that Zamfara that could really, really, engulf and create more crisis. From different judgments from courts, the way political arrangements have been in Zamfara in the recent times.
So you are saying yes or no to state of emergency in Zamfara state?
I would wish for no need for that because it's just counting days.
All right, thank you. Money Mike, state of emergency should it be declared in Zamfara state?
Well, I will tell you that the statement made then by Governor Yari was not from the bottom of his heart, but it was a political camouflage occasion by the fact that then INEC had insisted that there was no primaries in Zamfara state. And there were some elements of trying to manipulate the situation to say if we do not have any candidate, maybe this should be an option to make us eventually come into play. Now we stand, the guy is not to say that he didn't feel the pains, he felt the pain, and I guess he's still feeling the pains. The government should do all within its powers to see how they can bring the situation in Zamfara under control. And above all, there must be a long-run plan to checkmate our borders to ensure that influx of known and unknown persons are also properly monitored. Because all these things we are talking about here, there needs to be a kind of rebate in both the people of Zamfara and indeed by extension all Nigerians. Because most of the times we talk and talk and talk and talk. But unfortunately we are not able to manage our emotions and adrenaline when it comes to the other side of the coin. So politicians should be patriotic politicians. Those who are doing legitimate businesses should be legitimate. Those who are into crimes and criminality should think of how to remove their hands. Our religious institutions, traditional institutions, and all institutions that conglomerate to form governance as far as this country is concerned, they must work in synergy. Security organizations must be up and doing.
Why
I will utmostly say they should be well funded and catered for.
Thank you so much, Edigi. 1 minute.
Yeah, I think my advice is that we should localize security because it's becomes difficult for one agent in Abuja to control one IPO and it's too much of a body for the federal government to think it can handle security at that level. I think if you localize security, if the federal police is saddled with the responsibility of taking care of some federal offenses, that can be understood. But some offenses should be taken care by state police. I think if that is done, some of this insecurity will be addressed. And locals should be advised to put themselves together into local vigilante that are registered and they can work with the security agencies. I think if we have that in place, this issue of insecurity would have been abated and very tested.
All right, thank you so much. About 1 minute.
Yeah, whatever we do, fear God. Anything you do, fear God. If you fear God, these things will not happen. If naturally you know that if I decide to pinch Osaze Edigi, it's going to be painful to him, don't do it. Are you getting it now? And our people that we've given the responsibility to pilot the affairs of the state, our government, should also fear God. They should remember that in 4 years' time, they will come back to kneel down and beg. So if you know you don't want to kneel down, you want to say, I did it. This was our promise and it has been done. Do things where you still have time. Thank God we are starting a new government in a month's time. So whatever we want to do now, we should do it right. So that we should not also continue to rigmarole and talk. We are tired of talking. It's time to do the do.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. It's all about combating banditry and parasitic situation. I really hope and pray that the security forces will be able to forestall peace and order in the northern part of Nigeria, and the southern part of Nigeria, and the east, and of course in the western part, even the middle belt. Peace, tranquility, security should be the order of the day. From all of us here in the studio, we're saying have a wonderful Monday. Bye for now.